Hello and welcome to Beautifully Balanced. Health and happiness aren't found in a bottle of prescription pills or with any fad diet. Instead, we can activate your body's natural ability to heal itself. And that is exactly what we're going to do together here. I'm Sarah Teeple, a women's integrative health practitioner, and I blend the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda with the modern science of functional medicine to help you heal your gut, rebalance your hormones, and calm anxiety naturally. Here I'll teach you the smart, sustainable, personalized, and fun way to use nutrition, herbs, and healthy lifestyle to feel vibrant, energized, and beautiful inside and out. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello and welcome. I hope you are as happy to be here as I am happy to be here and happy to have you here. Today's episode is so relevant to so many and was a central part of my life for a really long time, the struggle with my weight. So, if you know me and you know this podcast, you know that I'm not a proponent of weighing yourself. I actually tell all my clients to hide or donate their scales. Seriously. What the scale says, the number on that scale, has zero bearing on who you are or on how you feel in your body. But if you are struggling with weight, if you're carrying a lot of excess weight and you're struggling and have been for years maybe, or even decades, it's undoubtedly affecting your quality of life. You're not feeling good in your body and you're not feeling as good as you can in your life. So it is my ultimate mission to help you feel good in your body and help you feel good about your body. So that is what today's episode is all about. And I'll be sharing the top 3 food and drink mistakes to avoid if you're trying to lose weight and what to do instead. But first, a little bit of background. So people that see me now and have seen me in the past decade might say, well, you're naturally thin. And I hear people say that all the time. But the truth is that I struggled with my weight for decades. So that I'm naturally thin, that's not really true. Well, it's true and it's not true. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. But you guys, I struggled for decades, losing weight, feeling uncomfortable in my body, just wanting to have less body fat and be smaller was central in my mind, occupied so much of my brain space. I mean, it is lamentable. It still makes me feel sad to think about that and think about that for my younger self and think about that so many women and so many people out there are still struggling. So I struggled for decades. I wasn't always thin. And in fact, from about age 15 to age 30, I weighed about 20 to 30 more pounds than I do now. And then I'll tell you, I was on the scale weighing myself a lot. And 20 to 30 pounds might not sound like a lot, but I have a relatively small frame. I'm 5'3". So it felt like a lot. And I just did not feel good in my body. I didn't feel good about myself. So I yo-yo dieted, trying everything. When I was a teenager, I became vegetarian, partially for ethical reasons, which I still stand behind. But a lot of it was for, quote, health, but health then meant weight loss and being thinner. So I was vegetarian, I was vegan. Then the pendulum swung the other way and I did Atkins. Oh, the first one I ever did was Slimfast shakes. That was in elementary school, and Deal-a-Meal, Richard Simmons Deal-a-Meal. I don't know if you guys remember that. You got this little like wallet with cards, and the cards would say like fruit, and it would say what a serving of fruit was. And it was like a half an apple. You're like, oh my God, I hate you, Deal-a-Meal. Talk about feeling deprived and just perpetuating, feeling bad in your body by this little punitive deck of cards you get, where you're just keeping track of every little thing you put in your mouth. So I did that in 5th or 6th grade, I think. And then the vegetarianism, the veganism, and, I struggled with staying at a healthy weight, even being vegetarian and vegan. And we'll talk a little bit about why that was. And then, as I was saying, the pendulum swung the other way, and I was all about Atkins. I was eating the fat, the meat, the cheese, the nuts, all the fats. none of the carbs. And then that got a little more sensible, kind of expanding into paleo, which is more meat and vegetables, but no grains. So still the low carb kind of perpetuated. And then it was sort of more keto. So this is when I started learning more about anti-inflammatory diets and the Western perspective of ultimate nutrition. But I still struggled. I had lost weight by then, but I was not feeling good in my body. My digestion felt terrible. And I'll tell you a little bit about why. It's partially because I was not eating for my constitution. I didn't even know about constitution yet until I learned about Ayurveda. So I tried all the diets. And none of them worked, at least long term. But once I got more in tune with nature, once I learned my dosha and how my digestive style worked, and I started making those changes, it all balanced out naturally and automatically. My body finally reached its ideal weight, and it maintains its ideal weight super easily. So to say that I'm, quote, naturally thin, when people say that to me, and they're kind of saying it like, you don't have to try it all. And the truth is, I don't really have to try that hard. I just have to know and understand on a deep level. And that's what I do. So again, that naturally thin, kind of true and not true. But I want to share with you today how I made it easy and automatic for myself, and how I help my beautifully balanced clients do the same, and how I'm going to help you do the same. So today's plan is we're going to talk about excess weight from an Ayurvedic and a holistic standpoint, because again, this Western kind of wellness trendy standpoint is not working for us. This toxic diet culture, as I call it, and even just kind of the wellness zeitgeist, all the information that you're finding on Instagram by these wellness influencers, all the articles that you can find in a Google search about what to eat and what not to eat. I mean, it is just dizzying with conflicting information that just leaves you more confused and puts you more out of touch with your body, right? You're looking outside of you for all of these tips and tricks and hacks, and you're not bringing the focus inside to your body. And that is what Ayurveda and understanding your dosha helps you do. I mean, I am so passionate about this because, you guys, this freed my mind up. Not having this huge struggle with my weight and my body has freed my mind, my heart, my soul, and my spirit up. So now I have a beautiful family. Now I have a business that I love. Now I can actually live my life, and I'm not just obsessed with this BS of this toxic diet culture. And this is what I want to start to share with you today. I mean, I could make the whole podcast about this, but I want to share a slice with you today to get you started. So we're going to talk about excess weight from that Ayurvedic and holistic standpoint. We're going to find out what the main cause of it is. It's not that you're eating too many calories. It's not that you're not exercising enough, although we all could move our bodies a little more. And most importantly, we're going to talk about what you can do to reach a healthy weight and to feel great in your body so you can actually enjoy food and enjoy life to its fullest again. So I'm going to reveal the 3 biggest and most common mistakes that I see my clients making. These 3 mistakes are sabotaging their weight goals, and they're leaving them feeling frustrated, stuck, and heavy in their digestion. So not just like heavy in that they're carrying around some excess adipose tissue and maybe water, excess fat and water, but they're just feeling heavy and blocked in their actual digestive tract, in their body. You know that feeling of feeling like things just aren't moving, they aren't flowing. And often this is almost kind of metaphoric. It's like your body's not moving and your life isn't moving. You are stuck and you don't feel at home in your body. So if this is how you feel, be so glad. I'm here to support you. This episode is going to help you. And of course, I always welcome any follow-up comments or emails. You can always email me at hello@sarahteeple.com. Again, this is my passion, to get women and people of all genders, sexes out of this trap. Our lives can be bigger and fuller. All right. So Ayurveda says that being overweight is partially constitutional. So what do I mean by that? I mean that some body types, Western medicine would call them phenotypes, but some body types, some digestive styles are a little more prone to carry excess weight, to accumulate a little excess fat tissue, to carry a little excess water. This dosha that is a little more prone to that is called kapha dosha. But truly, any dosha can gain weight. If you don't know your dosha yet, please visit me at sarahteeple.com and take my quick free dosha quizzes. There are actually two of them. One will help you uncover your body dosha or your physical dosha. This has a lot to do with your digestive style, which is what we're talking about today. And then the other one, they're each about 3 minutes long. The other one will help you uncover your mental and emotional dosha, because these things are really different. And we want to tease those apart so you can best understand yourself. And you'll get some great free tips. So go over to sarahteeple.com and take that. Mostly kapha dosha folks are going to naturally have a little bit of a slower metabolism. They're going to hang on to excess water weight. That's called edema when you're retaining water. But again, any dosha, vata, pitta, or kapha, can gain weight if your digestion and metabolism aren't working smoothly. So in Ayurveda, this concept of your digestion is such a big, beautiful, comprehensive concept. So I love it so much. It's called Agni in Ayurveda. That's a Sanskrit word. And Agni means your gut, your digestion, your metabolism, your appetite, how well you're able to absorb and assimilate nutrition. It has to do with your eliminations, AKA your poops. So it's this big concept. It's not just like metabolism and calories or, gut health and microbiome. We tend to really compartmentalize all of these things and think, oh, I need a probiotic for this. I need to count calories for that. And we kind of get lost in the shuffle, not seeing this as a whole big, beautiful, cohesive, kind of synergistic force of nature within us, our Agni. So we want our Agni to be working well. And we can sometimes accumulate different habits, be overindulging in certain food groups and undereating other foods, or eating at weird times, not getting enough movement or sleep. All of these things can contribute to issues with your Agni, your gut, your digestion, your appetite. So if you're carrying around excess weight, feeling heavy and just not at home, not good in your body, we can pretty much guarantee that your Agni is not functioning optimally. So now I'm going to give you the secrets, what to do about this, how to start on the path to restore that healthy Agni, that great gut health, that nice, fast, light metabolism, that good, healthy appetite. So first, before we go into our 3 common mistakes that I see and what to do instead, I just want to give you a little background that you can go back and listen to episode 5 of Beautifully Balanced, how your gut actually works. And in fact, I super strongly recommend, if this is an area that interests you, to go back and listen to that. It's going to be so helpful, so illuminating. It's going to kind of flip that light bulb switch on in your brain of, oh my gosh, this is the piece that I've been missing. So go back and listen to episode 5. And you can also go back and listen to episode 8. They're just about 20 minutes each, super informative. Episode 8 is what's your digestive style? So this will tell you specifically about your gut style and give you some tips. So I'm so glad to be able to provide that information for you and just help you along in your path. So now this brings us to our top 3 biggest and most common mistakes that I see in clients when they're trying to lose weight. These 3 things are just sabotaging them. They can be counting calories, exercising every single day, trying to do all the right things, spending lots of money on expensive designer smoothie ingredients, but these things are messing them up. So number 1 is eating and drinking cold foods and drinks. Cold is the enemy to a fast metabolism. And I explain this in depth in that episode 5, how your gut actually works. But I'm going to give it to you here in a nutshell. So your Agni, or your digestive fire, fire being the operative word, is this hot, light, sharp thing. It's warm, it's flowy, it's a fire. We want it to stay a fire and keep that moving. If you want to lose weight, you want better digestion, you need to kindle your Agni or kindle your fire. And drinking cold drinks and eating cold foods is the opposite of kindling a fire. I want you to think about your Agni like it's a campfire, and think about drinking that cold smoothie first thing in the morning, or chugging your ice water while you're out at a restaurant, and the server keeps refilling your ice water. You are dousing your digestive fire. Just the concept of cold in and of itself. So cold, there's some conditions of cold, and I want you to think about what they mean and then kind of translate that to your own metabolism, and you're going to see, oh my gosh, hell no, I don't want to be putting cold food and drink on my gut and in my digestive tract. So when you think of hypothermia, hypo means cold. Hypothermia is when your body temperature gets so low that your organs stop functioning, your blood stops flowing. Basically, everything just slows down. Hypothermia, slow. Hypometabolism, slow, cold. Another example of this is a hypothyroid. And many of you out there might be struggling with hypothyroid. It's super common, especially among women in our culture who are just going, doing so much for others, don't have enough time for the rest and self-care that they need to maintain their bodies and maintain their energy and their quality of life. So hypothyroid means essentially a cold and slow thyroid. One of the symptoms of hypothyroid is those cold hands and feet. Your thyroid is like the furnace of your body. So you don't want it to go cold. And then often with hypothyroid, we're gaining a lot of weight. We have no energy. So anyway, I'm kind of trying to paint this bigger picture for you of what hypo and what cold means for your digestive tract and your metabolism, what effect it's going to have on your weight, because I want to first have you think about this kind of medically and physiologically. And then second, think about it as it applies to your food and drink, because we're so used to just getting these kind of diet tips and count your calories and eat this, not that, but we don't really understand why. And so we don't internalize these tips, whether they're good tips or bad tips. And these that I'm giving you are good tips, by the way, crucial tips. So, moral of the story: your cold smoothie first thing in the morning, your ice water, your ice cold salad, the cold fruit salad that you're eating straight from the fridge. And these are like healthy things that I'm mentioning, right? These are supposed to be really good and healthy for us, but these are, quote, health foods that are slowing down your metabolism. So then, of course, we've got our versions of the less healthy cold foods, some leftover frozen pizza right out of the fridge, the ice cream straight from the pint out of your freezer. Just any cold foods and drinks, your iced coffee. If you're a coffee drinker and you're struggling with excess weight, for the love of God, switch to a small little cup of hot coffee, not the cold. So ditch the cold foods and drinks, and instead, I'm sure you can guess what I'm about to suggest. Go for warm and hot foods and drinks. Hot tea, hot and warm soups, cooked foods, cooked grains and vegetables, and even some, I call them medicinal animal foods. So, some chicken, fish, eggs, responsibly sourced always. If you're doing animal foods, it's crucial to do them organic or local. But warm. Think warm, not cold, my friends. All right. That was tip number 1. And this is the most important one. And I feel like it's the least known one. I see people who are trying to lose weight carrying around their Nalgene water bottles full of ice and water and their cold smoothies. So anyway, I know I belabor this, but it's just so transformative once you start to make that switch. I know for myself, if I have any digestive issues, I drink warm water, warm and hot water. Drink it until I have a great bowel movement, or until my stomach feels better, or until I'm hungry for my next meal. And it just keeps me feeling great and at my ideal weight. If I had one tip for you, one huge takeaway, it would be that. So number 2, second mistake that I see and what to do instead. The second mistake is eating late at night. Oh, this is a metabolic nightmare. And it doesn't feel that good, right? I mean, maybe it feels good in the moment while you're munching and crunching on some chips or cookies or granola or whatever it is while you're watching Netflix at night. But this is not good for your digestion and your metabolism. Our digestive systems are most active in the middle of the day at pitta time of day. So doshas are not only connected with individuals, but different times of day, different doshas are the most active. And our metabolism is meant to be the most active between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., pitta time of day. And at night, we're meant to be sleeping, to be cleansing, to not be eating most of our calories. So try to not have anything after supper, or if you get truly hungry, like stomach hungry, have just a small snack and maybe some herbal tea, just enough so you can go to bed comfortably. Now, I see this most commonly with clients thinking that they're doing a good thing by intermittent fasting. So I'm sure you've heard of this. It's where you go a certain number of hours without eating, and then you eat during certain hours of the day. But this really backfires for so many women. And this is how they do it. And this is why it doesn't work. So they'll often get up, sometimes sleep late. They're feeling groggy and sluggish in the morning because they ate late at night. They're not feeling hungry in the morning. So they fast through breakfast by drinking coffee. Often it's full of fat or cold dairy. Cold coffee, but they fast through breakfast and then don't eat until lunchtime. And then by afternoon and evening time, they're getting super hungry. Why? Because they didn't eat all day. So they're eating the bulk of their calories in the evening and then going to bed on a full, heavy stomach. And that food is just sitting, potentially fermenting in their stomach and their small intestine overnight. And then again, they're feeling sluggish in the morning, starting that vicious cycle all over again. So no eating late at night. Try to eat the bulk of those calories during the day. So one more reason why this doesn't work, why eating late at night will really sabotage you, and intermittent fasting through breakfast and sometimes lunch will not work, is because with everything you do, you're giving your body a message, you're giving your metabolism a message. And by not eating for the first 4, 5, 6 hours of the day, you're telling your metabolism, hey girl, slow down. I'm not going to give you anything. Simmer down. Don't work, metabolism. I'm not going to give you any food to metabolize and absorb and assimilate the nutrition from it. So your metabolism's going to listen. Your body is really responsive. Thank you, body. You're responsive. But this is not the response that you want to evoke from your body. So your metabolism slows down. And then what do? You start eating on your slow metabolism. So you can see I've kind of painted this picture of why that does not work. So if you're intermittently fasting this way, a more sensible way to do this is to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner around the same times every day. If you want to fast, have your fasting window be from supper time, maybe 7 p.m. at night to 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. the next morning. That is the ideal fasting window. So those were numbers 1 and 2 of the 3 biggest mistakes I see people make that are sabotaging their weight loss. Number 3 is eating lots of dairy. So dairy is extremely building, we call it in Ayurveda, building, nourishing, fortifying. And, we want to strengthen our bodies, but we don't need to build them in that way if we're carrying around excess weight. So scientifically, there's a difference between anabolic and catabolic. Anabolic is building. Catabolic is like burning or cleansing. And when we're overweight, we want to do more catabolic activities and eat more foods that have a catabolic effect. So again, anabolic is building, nourishing, kind of expanding. It's like very growth related. And that is exactly what dairy is. So dairy, when you think about it, it's eaten by babies, consumed by babies of basically every species of mammal, including humans. And what are babies trying to do? They're trying to double or triple their weight, right? They're trying to bulk up. So if you need to bulk up, if you're super depleted, if you are 85 years old with severe osteoporosis and you're underweight, yes, eat lots of dairy. If you're not those things, watch your dairy. I see this a lot, especially with vegetarians who eat a ton of cheese. So they think that they're doing a really great thing by not eating meat, and instead they're eating a lot of cheese. And I was one of these vegetarians. I was the bread and cheese vegetarian for a couple years of my teenagehood. I ate some vegetables too, but let's be honest, I ate mostly bread and cheese. Beans too, like bean burritos with lots of cheese. That sounds really good. So I might still have something like that occasionally, but more often I would choose something more vegetable and or protein heavy. Now, most adult women will tell me, well, I don't even drink milk. And you're like, sure, no one really drinks cow milk anymore when they're adults, or, some people do. But you might be eating a lot of cheese. You might even be consuming a lot of oat milk, almond milk, coconut milk. So it might not be dairy milk, but it might be a really creamy thing. And those have a similar anabolic or building effect. So we just need less of the creamy. So instead of like dousing something with ranch, we want you putting some extra virgin olive oil and some lemon juice. Lemon and lime, those citrus, they're acidic, they're very catabolic, they're more heating. Other foods and items that are more catabolic than anabolic, more burning and cleansing than building and expanding. Spicy foods. So salsa is a great addition to any meal. Adding in spices like cayenne pepper, chili powder, cinnamon, powdered ginger, or even cooking with fresh ginger. Turmeric is wonderful. Black pepper is wonderful. So these are catabolic spices that will kindle your agni, heat up and enliven your metabolism. So we've given you our top 3 mistakes and tips how to turn around those mistakes, how to get your agni rekindled, how to get that digestion, gut health, metabolism back online. Because being at your ideal weight is so much more about a really harmonious, efficient, and happy digestive tract. It's more about that than it is about counting calories or worrying about any trendy diets or what anyone else out there thinks. We want you to enrich and attune this relationship with your own body and with your own gut. And a great place to start is by taking these 3 tips to heart and trying them this week. So, avoid the cold food and drinks. Avoid eating late at night. Avoid eating lots of dairy. And instead, opt for warm, cooked, nourishing food and drinks. Eat 3 meals a day around the same times every day and avoid that late night snacking. And choose other things instead of dairy. I hope this episode's been helpful. I'm so glad that you were here today. And please, if you have any follow-up questions, get with me at hello@sarahteeple.com. That's my email. Come and take the dosha quiz at sarahteeple.com or work with me in the Beautifully Balanced program. That is the way to uncover your dosha, uncover your root causes, and get a personalized plan that will transform your life. And we'll have a ton of fun together. So thank you for being here today. Until next time, have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here with me today. Remember, you can feel your best naturally. Just try one new thing a week that you learn here and watch your body and life transform. And if you're ready to take this to the next level, learn your dosha, get your personalized holistic plan, and live beautifully balanced, you've got to come see me at sarahteeple.com. That's sarahtheeple.com. There you can learn about how to work with me one-on-one or book a free holistic chat and just tell me what you're working on. I love to hear from you and help you live your best life. So until next time, be well. Oh, and if you love this conversation, please rate and review our podcast. That really helps more people find natural healthcare options. Thanks again, and see you soon.